It's Week 10 of the National Football League. And here's the pick artist himself, Trayvon Diggs, who's had quarterbacks numbers all season, coming down with 7 picks. It's the Commanders and the Cowboys. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today we hit double digits, Week 10, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gautin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games. But meanwhile, for the visiting Commanders, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Just about time to rock as Toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway here on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks down to get 6'5".
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. Bottom line, how do they get a win?
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. McKinney. Quick throw there is incomplete. Jahan Dotson was the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. You look at this Cowboy defense. Well, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
It'll go as a pickup of 14 and a Washington 1st down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, McKinney. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Robinson. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll run with Scott. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
The numbers in last week's ball game for Robinson. 20 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown.
It's a pretty mediocre week for him on the ground. Certainly a boon to his offense if he can get a little more output on his touches this week. He should get some more early carries as his team tries to get him into a rhythm.
Now a throw here, hauled in. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. Looking to throw. McKinney. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
But now an audible here into something else. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Back to throw. McKinney. He finds his man. Complete. It's Norton. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's...
And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Christian Harris in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Now make that a 2nd sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
Gay's kick is good, and the Commanders get out to a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what a performance in his last game. A couple of touchdown passes, that was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The rushing numbers for Pollard last week. 17 carries, 99 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people up and downfield.
Now Stroud. Open man downfield is Lamb. It's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. C.D. Lamb with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. On second down, another shot for Robinson. And he is going to lose yardage here. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Washington with a football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down. McKinney. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. T.J. Edwards coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 36. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we've wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
The second down throw now from Stroud. Able to find Gray here. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it, and they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready up. Shot 17. Go.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there. And they'll go backwards right away. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, as a wide out, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw in that play with a loss. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try to figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
This is taken at the 18. That's a 49-yard punt, 8 though on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they are back to 500 on the year, got the win last weekend, and it's one that kept their playoff hopes alive.
And if you do have those hopes, 500 is not where you want to be at this point of the year. Now, we know they've battled through some rough patches this season, so it now comes down to how they're going to finish. Not out of it. Can't afford any more missteps, though.
And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. Here's a screen now for Pollard. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the Pollard. And this is going to be a Cowboys 1st down as he's able to get this up past the 40. Stroud looking to throw. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Now it's 2nd and 10. Here's Stroud. His throw incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 38-yard line.
Ready.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down 2nd and right at a yard. Here's Pollard again. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Here we go, Scott.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. And just shedding him off there. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Aubrey now for the PAT. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. That time, a 9-play drive, and it's capped off for the Cowboys touchdown. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Commanders' offense returning to the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. To throw on second down. McKinney. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And McLaurin going to pick up a Commander's first down as he's up to the 44-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Operating from the gun, McKinney. Over the middle, brought in by Dotson. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now 2nd and 5. Back to throw again. He finds his target, Royal. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Let's go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Under pressure, they got him again. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Jake Camardas in on now to punt this away.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll begin up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And as they come towards halftime, it's the Eagles who have the lead in that one. The Eagles looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. From there, we're out to check out another game. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. A touchdown run there for Javonte Williams. Lastly, we head to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough to check on the Patriots. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Tua Tagovailoa with a touchdown throw. We just watched a very good first half out of the Ohio State man, C.J. Stroud.
he fired his guys into the lead with 2 first-half touchdown passes, as they were looking like a well-oiled machine in the first half of play.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. 17-3 the score as we resume action for the second half on EA Sports. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Ready, go. Check smash, check smash.
Second half begins with a run by Pollard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Mustang 19, 19 type, 19 type. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. 70 Rangers, 70 Rangers.
Stroud now on second down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
This is 2nd and 8. And Stroud now to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
That is caught, and he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On the bootleg, Stroud. And this pass caught by Gray. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up second down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here goes Stroud again. That is caught. Schoonmaker. Touchdown. Luke Schoonmaker. 27 yards. And the Cowboys have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
First possession of the second half now for Washington.
On the set.
On 1st and 10, McKinney.
That's out wide here for Robinson.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Set. Go.
Second down and a run by Robinson.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Well, another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air. And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Washington going to send out their punter.
He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Dallas offense set for this next drive.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field. Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
On 2nd down, it's Stroud. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. Picked off by Emmanuel Forbes. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Shaq Thompson in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. McKinney. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Going to throw deep for the end zone. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
They'll look to throw again. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Set, ready.
Off play action. McKinney. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. Touchdown, Washington. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Commanders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
Escaping the pressure right. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Here we go on the next drive for Washington.
Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter.
Throwing to start the drive. McKinney.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs.
And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Dallas offense set for this next drive. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. And now a fake there on the jet sweep as he'll give to Pollard. And now we're going to get a stoppage. A member of the Cowboys shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Play action. Stroud now.
Open man here is Conklin. It'll be a gain of 5. 3rd and 7 now. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7.
Throwing now is Stroud.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
John Franklin Myers able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it will be 4th down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback.
Now Washington
down by 2 touchdowns. 2:13 remaining. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on 1st down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Complete. It's Dodson. And he'll wind up picking up about 4 as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
2nd and 6 coming up.
Back to throw. McKinney. It's caught by Royal.
A big play here as the crowd noise rises. 3rd and 1.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it.
The Dallas offense back out onto the field. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Pollard will take it up the gut. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
18 Rattler, 18 Rattler. Buffalo 18. 60 Bobcats, 60 Bobcats. Ready?
Stroud on 3rd down now.
And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
Back onto the field now, the Commanders' offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Fight, 97.
Looking to throw. McKinney. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Ready?
It'll be a handoff to Pollard, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes, they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time, he uses quickness to make a play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Trap 60, trap 60.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll take a shot for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times you just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Ready? 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick.
Stroud now on 1st and 10.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities, and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels. They take the ball away. They change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for Dallas, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week.
Meanwhile, for the Commanders,
the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.